In 1936, Nazi Germany commissioned a poster featuring his body and displayed it during the Berlin Olympics. A young black athlete from South Central Los Angeles was presented as an example of physical perfection by the same regime that claimed black people were inferior. Yet just 24 years later, Hollywood still would not even put his name on a movie poster. He broke professional football's color barrier a full year before Jackie Robinson stepped onto a baseball field. He became the first black star in professional wrestling, earned a Golden Globe nomination for playing a gladiator who refused to surrender, and when legendary Western director John Ford was dying of cancer, Woody slept on his bedroom floor for 4 months, because that's the kind of man he was. His name was Woody Strode, and few people in Hollywood history were as remarkable yet as overlooked. Before he ever appeared in a movie, his incredible physique had already caught worldwide attention. While attending UCLA in the late 1930s, people everywhere were talking about him. Artist Hubert Stowitz painted a nude portrait of Strode for a famous athletic art exhibition tied to the 1936 Berlin Olympics. The Nazi government shut the exhibit down because it included black and Jewish athletes. Even so, filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl photographed him, and a poster featuring Strode, commissioned by the Nazi regime, was produced around the Olympic Games. The contradiction was impossible to ignore. His body was admired, yet he still faced prejudice throughout his life. People often noticed his appearance before they recognized his talent. Woodrow Wilson Woolwine Strode was born on the 25th of July 1914 in the Furlong Tract neighborhood of South Central Los Angeles. His father, Ballas Strode Sr., was a brick mason with Creek, Blackfoot, and African-American ancestry who once set a record by laying 2,500 bricks in a single day. Woody joked that his father's hands were so tough, getting hit by him felt like being punched with brass knuckles. Even so, his father refused to teach him the trade. Instead, he told his son, "Go to school, learn something." His mother, Rose, was the daughter of a formerly enslaved man and had Cherokee roots. Through his father's family, Woody traced his ancestry to an African warrior who escaped a Louisiana sugar plantation and found safety with the Creek people. As a child, Woody rarely thought about race. His grammar school had a black principal, and he later said, "On the Pacific Coast, there was not anything we could not do. We thought we were white." Everything changed once he traveled beyond Los Angeles and saw how differently many people treated black men. Woody started out tall and skinny, but a major growth spurt in junior high changed everything. At Thomas Jefferson High School, he became an all-city football captain and earned all-state honors in track and field. His grades delayed a scholarship, but he pushed himself, studied hard, and earned his place at UCLA. That decision changed his life and helped shape sports history. At UCLA, Strode became a standout two-way end and an elite decathlete. He won the 1,938 Pacific Coast Conference shot put with a throw of 51 feet, 6.5 inches, cleared 6 feet 5 inches in the high jump, and finished fourth at the NCAA championships. But what truly made those years unforgettable wasn't only Woody. It was the legendary teammates lining up beside him. The 1,939 UCLA Bruins were one of the most integrated teams in college football. At a time when only a small number of black players competed at that level, UCLA had 4: Woody Strode, Kenny Washington, Jackie Robinson, and Ray Bartlett. 3 of them became known as the Gold Dust Gang. Long before they made history, they were already proving on the field what many people refused to accept. That 1,939 squad finished 6-0-4 and ranked 7th in the nation. Strode led UCLA in receiving with 15 catches for 218 yards. They battled eventual national champion USC to a scoreless tie in front of more than 103,000 fans at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, with a Rose Bowl opportunity on the line. Robinson would later break Major League Baseball's color barrier. Washington would help end the NFL's unofficial exclusion of black players. Woody Strode reached that milestone too, but his role has often been overlooked. The NFL had excluded black players since 1933 through an unwritten agreement among team owners. For 13 years, no black player appeared in the league. Blocked from the NFL, Strode in Washington played for the semi-professional Hollywood Bears instead. During World War II, Strode joined the Army Air Corps, served unloading bombs in Guam and the Mariana Islands, and played football for the Army team at March Field. By 1946, at age 31, it seemed like his football career was finished. Then the Cleveland Rams moved to Los Angeles and wanted to lease the publicly owned Memorial Coliseum. Black journalist Hallie Harding challenged the team, saying, "If you want to play in a public stadium in this city, you will integrate your roster." The Rams signed Kenny Washington on March 21, 1946, opening the door for change. At Kenny Washington's request, the Rams signed Woody Strode on the 7th of May 1946. Along with Marion Motley and Bill Willis of the Cleveland Browns, they became known as the Forgotten Four, the players who helped reintegrate professional football a full year before Jackie Robinson's Major League Baseball debut. The experience wasn't easy. Strode was already 32 and played only the 1946 season, finishing with 4 catches for 37 yards before being released. He later spoke about racism, limited opportunities, and the rough treatment black players often faced from opposing teams. Reports also claimed Rams owner Dan Reeves disapproved of Strode's interracial marriage. Everything changed when he headed north to Canada. In 1948, Strode joined the Calgary Stampeders in the Western Interprovincial Football Union, and the season became unforgettable. Calgary finished a perfect 12-0, the only undefeated championship season in Canadian professional football history, a record that still stands today. Strode led the team in receiving and earned All-Star honors. During the Grey Cup against Ottawa, he caught a pass on the famous sleeper play and later recovered a crucial fumble that helped set up the game-winning touchdown. Calgary claimed a 12-7 victory before returning to the Grey Cup in 1949, where they fell to Montreal. That loss also marked the end of Strode's football career. 2 broken ribs and a shattered shoulder left his body battered. He later said, "It was like I had fought Joe Louis." At 35 years old, football was over, but another unexpected chapter was just beginning. By 1950, Woody Strode had become professional wrestling's first black star, competing across California and Canada against famous names like Gorgeous George, while teaming with standout wrestlers Bobo Brazil and Bearcat Wright. He was billed as the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Champion and earned about $500 a week, but the biggest reward wasn't the paycheck. Wrestling taught him how to move, make fights look believable, and hold an audience's attention using nothing but his presence. Those skills soon opened the door to Hollywood. Producer Walter Mirisch saw him wrestling and cast him in a 1951 jungle film. The studio wanted him to shave his head, but he wasn't interested at first. Then they offered another $500 a week. He later joked, "All right, where are the pluckers?" Looking back, he said, "I was out in the world market with a bald head, trapped for life." Before long, the look became part of his identity. Throughout the 1950s, Strode was repeatedly cast as African warriors, gladiators, and jungle natives. His towering 6'4" athletic build got him noticed, but it also kept him stuck in the same kinds of roles. Directors saw a powerful fighter, not a leading man. In 1956, Cecil B. DeMille hired him as a $500 a week extra for The 10 Commandments. When no one else fit the role of the King of Ethiopia, DeMille promoted Strode, giving him a memorable entrance that stood out on screen. Then came Porkchop Hill in 1959, his first major dramatic role. While working on that studio lot, a chauffeur told him an older director wanted to meet him. That meeting would challenge him, reshape his career, and help turn him into a respected actor. Before that story unfolds, one performance deserves special attention. In 1960, Stanley Kubrick cast Woody Strode as Draba in Spartacus, the Ethiopian gladiator ordered to fight Spartacus in a battle to the death. Strode's wrestling experience made every move in Spartacus look completely real. He later said, "I would have lost that role if I had not been in shape and if I had not had experience as a wrestler. It took skill to do that fight scene without hurting myself or hurting Douglas." In the film, Draba defeats Spartacus and has him pinned. The Roman crowd demands the final blow, but instead, Draba turns toward the powerful men watching from above and throws his trident at them in a bold act of defiance. Crassus, played by Laurence Olivier, immediately kills him, setting off the slave rebellion that drives the rest of the story. Though his screen time was brief, the performance left a lasting impact. Many film historians have viewed Draba's sacrifice as reflecting themes of resistance and dignity that resonated with audiences during the Civil Rights era. The role earned Strode a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actor, making him the first black performer nominated in that category. On set, Laurence Olivier told him, "What you are about to do, I could never do." Strode later said those words gave him enormous confidence. Even after Spartacus and a Golden Globe nomination, Hollywood still rarely gave him leading roles. Everything shifted when legendary director John Ford called for him. Ford told Strode, "I hear you are trying to be an actor." After Woody nodded, Ford replied, "I have a little job for you." That little job became the title role in Sergeant Rutledge, 1960, one of the first major Hollywood westerns centered on a black hero. Strode played a Buffalo soldier falsely accused of serious crimes, even though Warner Brothers had reportedly wanted Sidney Poitier or Harry Belafonte instead. Ford refused to cast anyone else. "They are not tough enough," he said, "to do what I want Sergeant Rutledge to be." Released 2 years before, To Kill a Mockingbird, the film became one of the first major Hollywood movies to confront racism head-on. Strode later called it his favorite role because, as he said, it had dignity. "John Ford put classic words in my mouth." He also said, "You never seen a Negro come off a mountain like John Wayne before. I had the greatest glory hallelujah ride across the Pecos River that any black man ever had on the screen, and I did it myself. I carried the whole black race across that river." It was a moment he believed carried enormous meaning. Ford's directing style was demanding. Before one key scene, Strode said Ford got him drunk, so his hangover would make his wounded character appear more convincing. Looking back, Strode said, "That old man not only directed me, he split my personality. I almost had a nervous breakdown doing Sergeant Rutledge, but it helped me become an actor. He put me in the saddle." The two formed a close bond, but Ford's views on race were often described as complicated. Strode acknowledged that Ford had a certain amount of crudeness rooted in another era. Ford also pointed to his friendship with Strode when responding to criticism about racism. Their next collaboration would show just how complex that relationship could be. In 1962, Ford cast Strode as Pompey in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. In one of the film's most memorable scenes, Pompey stands before a classroom and begins reciting the Declaration of Independence before suddenly losing his place. Pompey pauses before reaching the line that all men are created equal. James Stewart's character quietly reminds him, "A lot of people forget that part of it." That brief exchange became one of the film's most powerful moments, offering a striking reflection on race in America. In another scene, a bartender refuses to serve Pompey. John Wayne's character, Donovan, fires back. "Who says he cannot? Pour yourself a drink, Pompey." Later, Pompey saves Donovan from a burning house, risking everything to rescue the man who had once been in a position of greater power. Behind the scenes, things were far more complicated. When James Stewart commented that Strode's costume looked a bit like Uncle Remus, Ford reportedly called the crew together and jokingly claimed Stewart did not like Negroes. Stewart was left embarrassed, while Strode found himself pulled into a situation that had nothing to do with him. Years later, Strode said he realized Ford had been using moments like that to pressure Stewart psychologically. During the same production, tensions reportedly became so intense that John Wayne and Strode nearly got into a fight before Ford stepped in, calling out, "Do not hit him, Woody. We need him." The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance was added to the National Film Registry in 2007. 4 of Woody Strode's films now appear there, and one begins with a scene many critics consider among the greatest openings in movie history. In 1968, Sergio Leone released Once Upon a Time in the West. The film opens at a lonely train station where 3 gunmen simply wait. For nearly 10 slow, suspense-filled minutes, almost nothing happens, and that's exactly what makes the scene unforgettable. A windmill creaks, a fly circles Jack Elam's face, and water slowly drips onto the brim of Woody Strode's hat. There is no dialogue and no music, just 3 gunmen, the empty desert, and a growing sense of tension that keeps the audience locked in. Then Charles Bronson's harmonica steps off the train. After only a few words are exchanged, all 3 gunmen are dead. That unforgettable opening took 4 days to film and is still widely regarded as one of the greatest in cinema history. Without saying a single word, Strode became one of the film's most memorable figures. By then, he had mastered the art of saying everything without speaking. On the football field, his performances earned respect. In the wrestling ring, his movements told the story. And in the dusty landscape of Leone's Western, his quiet presence became just as powerful as any line of dialogue. Yet the most revealing part of Woody Strode's life had nothing to do with sports or movies. It showed the kind of person he was away from the spotlight. When John Ford was dying of cancer in 1973, Strode stayed by his side not simply as an actor or former co-worker, but as someone deeply loyal. For about 4 months, he slept on the floor beside Ford's bed. He was there when Ford needed water, when the pain struck in the middle of the night, and during his final days. Their relationship had never been simple. Strode had spoken about Ford's demanding methods, and Ford's views on race have been widely described as complicated. Even so, Woody chose to remain there until the very end, showing a level of loyalty few people ever expected. That says so much about who Woody Strode really was. After John Ford's death, he finally achieved something Hollywood had rarely given him. He went to Italy, and for the first time, he became a true leading man. His memoir, Goldust, opens with the words, "Bene, grazie, Italia." He wrote, "Well, thank you, Italy. They made a star out of me, and for that I will always be grateful." For me, Italy was the promised land. One of his biggest Italian roles was Black Jesus, where he played a revolutionary, inspired by Congolese leader Patrice Lumumba. It was the only film in which he received true top billing, with his name appearing first on the poster. Strode believed talent could cross borders. He once said, "Race is not a factor in the world market. I have done everything but play an Anglo-Saxon. I would play a Viking with blue contact lenses and a blonde wig." In 1940, he married Princess Lukialuana Kala, a native Hawaiian and distant relative of Queen Liliuokalani, Hawaii's last monarch. Remembering the reaction, he said, "You would have thought I was marrying Lana Turner." The way the whites in Hollywood acted. They stayed married for 39 years until Luana died from Parkinson's disease in 1980. Strode later married Tina Thompson in 1982. He kept acting well into his later years, appearing in the Cotton Club Posse, and finally The Quick and the Dead alongside Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Sadly, he passed away before the film was released, and it was dedicated to his memory. Woody Strode died peacefully in his sleep at his ranch in Glendora, California, on the 31st of December 1994. At the age of 80, he was buried with full military honors at Riverside National Cemetery. The New York Times remembered him with the headline, "Woody Strode, 80, character actor." Character actor? after Spartacus, after Sergeant Rutledge, after the man who shot Liberty Valance, after one of the most unforgettable opening scenes in movie history, after helping reintegrate professional football, winning an undefeated Grey Cup season, and becoming professional wrestling's first black star. Just a character actor? Film critic David Shipman once wrote, "Woody Strode was tall of build, bald of patty, with a striking screen presence. Had he been born white, or later, he might have become a star." Recognition finally arrived, but far too late. A Golden Globe nomination in 1961, the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame in 1980, UCLA's Athletic Hall of Fame in 1992, and in 2022, the Pro Football Hall of Fame honored him as one of the Forgotten Four. Pixar even named Sheriff Woody after him, and Jet magazine called him the Jackie Robinson of cinema. No matter the role, Woody Strode brought strength, dignity, and unforgettable screen presence. He broke barriers in sports, wrestling, and Hollywood, leaving a legacy that still deserves far more recognition. If Woody Strode's story surprised you, take a moment to honor his legacy. Like this video, subscribe for more incredible forgotten stories, share it with someone who loves history, and let me know in the comments, what part of Woody Strode's journey impressed you the most? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.